Hello beautiful people, and welcome back to my channel. Today is day 5 of my 31-day makeup challenge. Today's question is, do I like wearing lashes, and if so, individuals or strips? I have worn both before. I prefer individuals. They are a little more easier for me to work with. I've done strips before and they was just a little too heavy on my eyes. I recently wore them probably like 2 months ago, and I guess I did them the right way because they wasn't heavy at all. I just prefer individuals because they're a little easier for me to work with. They last longer, and plus they look more natural. And when I say easy to work with, I mean as far as me putting them on and maintaining. Okay, so I decided to mix both Fenty hydrating foundations, 420 and 430 together. I do like the way that these came out because the 420 is a little too light for my skin tone, and as you know, 430 is a little too dark. But I still put a little more of the 430 because I didn't know how mixing it with the 420 was going to turn out. I will try this combination again and make sure that I do equal parts just to see how that combines together. Now I'm just going to add a little bit of this hydrating mist to my face, and this is the Huda Beauty Glow Coco hydrating mist, and I was having a little trouble getting it to spray out. It was like sticking, but once I figured that out, I didn't add too much because you don't want it to be dripping down your skin. And then I'm just taking that sponge and then patting that in. I'm going to take this Sephora concealer and use it under my eyes. I'm using this as a color corrector to kind of hide those dark circles under my eyes just a little bit before going in with another concealer. Now I'm going to take this NYX concealer and add a little bit under my eyes, my chin, my forehead, as well as the center of my nose. Basically, you want to do this to highlight all those little points of your face. And if your concealer is not full coverage, a tip that you can do is let it sit for a little while before blending it out. I personally don't let it sit for too long because sometimes it can be a little harder to blend out. Now I'm just taking some setting powder under my eyes to set that concealer because I don't want my eyes to start creasing up on me. And as you can see, I'm taking a setting powder that is close to my skin tone. You don't have to do it. It's optional. You can use yellow setting powder or white as long as it's translucent. It's whatever choice you want to make. It's okay to play around with products just to see what works for you. Now I'm just going to take some translucent powder and add it to my chin, my upper lip, and down the center of my nose, and a little bit on top of my forehead. Now it's time to dust that powder away. I am taking a pressed powder that's the same color as my skin tone to dust that away because I don't want it to be too light. I didn't notice that the camera had stopped recording, and I went ahead and added this powder under my eyes so I can go ahead and do my eyeshadows. I'm taking this peach color as a transition color, and I'm doing some back and forth motions as well as circular motions, and I'm gonna keep dipping into that palette until I get the color that I want. So for my crease color, I did go in with it's kind of like a darker pink or like a pinkish purple color, and I'm just using this as my crease color and still going in with the back and forth as well as circular motions, and I'm going to be going back and forth between those two colors. You always want to go back and forth so you can make sure that you get the perfect blend. And now I'm going to cut my crease. You don't necessarily always have to cut your crease unless you want your colors to show up more pigmented. For me, I needed my colors to show up more pigmented as well as have something to stick to. I'm going back in with that purplish pinkish shade that I use for my crease, just so I can put it at the outer V of my eyelids. And I'm just going to add a little bit also across the top of the crease, just so it can stand out a little more. For the first pigment I'm going in with is a green shade. This is very pigmented. I chose these colors because I let my mom pick out which eyeshadow colors I was going to use. And you always want to make sure that whatever colors that you use, you always go back and forth between the colors to make sure that everything is evenly blended out. Now I'm going to move on to that second pigment. It's like a pinkish purplish color. Everything that I will be using will be listed down below. So with this third and final pigment, it is a goldish yellow pigment, and I'm going to just pop that in the inner corner. And I was going to also add a little bit of highlight right there, but I figured it'd be a little too much. I'm just going to go back in with that other shade just to make sure that everything is nicely blended. Now that color that I use as my crease color, I'm just making sure that it's evenly blended at the top so everything flows. And I'm just going in with some bronzer, and I'm using the bronzer as a replacement for the contour because, as I stated in a previous video, any of the contour shades that I have purchased, they all basically blended exactly with my skin tone, so it did not look right. I'm adding this green color on my lower lash line just to bring my look together. Okay, and I'm going to stop talking so you guys can enjoy the rest of the video. Thank you all for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.